know it's getting late. We have one more speaker speaking for the Al-Ada Right to Return Coalition. And by the way, the Right to Return movement non-violently marched by the tens of thousands to return to their home in Palestine, and the Israeli IDF gunned them down by the hundreds. This is my friend and comrade Bill Doris speaking for Al-Ada.
Thank you on behalf of Al-Ada, New York, the Palestine Right to Return Coalition. In the past 2 weeks, I've been on protest marches all over this city. And today was the first one where there was not one heckler, one not hostile remark. Because the people of the Bronx know they face the same issue as the people of Palestine. The issues in Palestine and in the Bronx are the same. Everybody has the right to a home. Everybody has a right to go to the hospital. Everybody has a right to a school, to clean water. Everybody has a right to live. Children have a right to live. Ritchie Torres does not believe that. Hardly nobody in Congress believes that. Joe Biden, Governor Hochul, and Eric Adams don't believe that. Because they would rather spend billions to bomb homes and bomb hospitals and bomb schools in Palestine than to build housing and provide health care and build schools in the Bronx or Appalachia or the native reservations or the South, the Black Belt South. They are stealing from the people of the Bronx to wage war. They would get any excuse not to give money to help the poor and working class here, to take our money for war. They want to give $14 billion more to the racist apartheid state of Israel.
No.
That's $14 billion worth of high explosives, $14 billion worth of napalm, $14 billion worth of white phosphorus, $14 billion worth of warplanes, because Israel does not manufacture any of that stuff. It's all made here and given for free to the racist Zionist state. Ritchie Torres, who's not here, he's over in Riverdale. He's where the money is. He's where his donors are, not where his constituents are. Voted to steal $14 billion from the people of the Bronx, from the people of the working class of this country. But ultimately that money comes back here. It does come back here to Wall Street, to the bankers, to General Dynamics, to Raytheon.
No.
Every time a bomb falls on a hospital or a school in Gaza, their stocks go up. And now they're sending two $12 billion aircraft carriers. I'm sorry to say I helped build one of them. Over there, they're sending troops over there. It's all an excuse to murder and rob from the poor, be they in Palestine, be they here. So our struggle is here. The head of the snake, the tail of the snake is in Palestine. The head of the snake is here on Wall Street, in the Pentagon. And by the way, when I talk about the bankers, most of them aren't Jewish. Most of them are call themselves Anglo-Saxon Christians, something like that. But it's all about the money.
Right.
And we have a job to do. We need to wage the fight here.
Woo!
To stop the arms to Israel, stop the endless flow of money and bombs for mass murder and genocide. We need money for schools and hospitals and housing, not for war against the people of Palestine. Tomorrow there'll be a walkout at campuses around the city. And in a week and a half, on Saturday, November 4th, we're going to Washington. It's around Congress. Please go online to Facebook or wherever, to Instagram, X, to AlAudaNewYork.org, the Palestine Right to Return Coalition, al-awdany.org. And we'll see you again and again in the streets, because it's one struggle, one fight. One fight. All the people must unite.
All the people must unite.
Not another nickel, not another dime, no more money for Israel's crimes.
So we're gonna end by bringing up David Galarza, who's a Boricua union activist, and he will be reading some of the names of the martyrs in Gaza. So this is how we will end.
Thank you. Give it up for yourselves for coming out today. So my name is David. I'm from the People's Republic of Brooklyn via Puerto Rico. And it's an honor for me to be with you all today. You know, when we say Puerto Rico, from Puerto Rico to Palestine, occupation is a crime, we mean it. Puerto Rico right now, we've been occupied by the United States for over 100 years, occupied by Spain for 400 years before that. We've been bombed too. Have anybody heard about Vieques? The island of Vieques? Vieques was bombed for 70 years, and guess what? The people rose up and got those motherfuckers out of Vieques. Right? So we know we can do this. We know we can do this. And our liberation is inextricably tied to Palestine, because until Palestine is free, none of us are free. Palestine is free?
None of us are free.
Until Palestine is free?
None of us are free.
So I see this number over here. This number is, you know, I'm sure much higher already. 5,791. It is not a number. These are people. 5,791. These are beautiful kids that are part of that number. And it's not a number, they're human beings. They're people's kids, they're people's grandkids. They're people's brothers and sisters. They're people that died, that were killed, that were massacred with our money. And we say no!
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 Not another nickel!
Not another nickel!
Not another dime!
Not another dime!
No more money!
No more money!
For Israel's crime!
Israel's crimes!
And so when I see that number, I also recall the number that was used after this government allowed almost 5,000 Boricuas to die after Hurricane Maria. That they didn't have to die either. But because we're a colony of this United States, they let 5,000 Boricuas die too. It wasn't the hurricane, it was the colony. It wasn't the hurricane, it was the colony. And that's how come we all gotta stand here. Boricuas, Palestinians, African Americans, queer folks, everybody's gotta be here fighting for justice. And so I want to make sure that people can see these faces and say their names.
Say their names!
Say their names!
Say their names!
Because they mattered. They mattered. Besan Halasa, 19 years old. She was a medical student. She was killed at her home alongside with her mother, older sister Mara, and brother Omar. She said on her social media before she died, I have dreams that I have not yet achieved. I have a life I have not yet fully lived. I have a family that I love and fear for. That's what she wrote. Me and my people are subjugated, persecuted, killed, and tortured in an open-air prison. Say her name! Besan Halasa, say her name! Say her name, Belan Halasa! Al-Shaima Saidam. Saidam was killed with members of her family when missiles hit the Al-Nusayrat refugee camp in Gaza Strip. In July, she celebrated being Palestine's top high school schooler.
Yes.
After she earned a 99.6 average in Palestine's general secondary education examination. She was a scholar.
Yes,
She could have been the president of Palestine.
She is a scholar kid. Yes.
Al-Shaim Saddam, say it. Al-Shaim Saddam, say it. Al-Shaim Saddam.
Yes, she is 99.
Yusuf Maher Dawaz. Dawaz was a young poet. I think somebody mentioned a poet earlier. He was a poet and writer. He died alongside members of his family in the northern town of Beit Lahi on Saturday, the 14th of October. We are not numbers. A collective that he belonged to announced his death on Twitter. Yusuf Maher Dawas. Yusuf Maher Dawas. Yusuf Maher Dawas.
Yes. Oh my God.
Viola and Yara, they were members of the Amash family. The young women were killed at St. Porphyrius Greek Orthodox Church in Gaza City, which was hit by a missile while hundreds of people were crowded into the compound seeking shelter. A Republican U.S. Congress member by the name of Justin Amash wrote on his Twitter that several of his own relatives were among the 16 killed at the church.
Yes.
Say their names, Viola and Yara.
Viola and Yara.
Viola and Yara.
Viola and Yara.
And the Amash family.
And my family. Yes.
Heba Sakud, the 39-year-old visual artist and school teacher, was killed alongside her two small sons, Adam and Mahmoud, during the missile strike on October 13th. She was the sole breadwinner of her family and is survived by her husband and two children. In her artwork, she explored daily Palestinian life and heritage. Heba Sakud!
Heba Sakud.
Heba Sakud!
Heba Sakud. There are a lot of.
Iyad Abdel Aziz Asker.
Oh,
This 5-year-old boy was killed at the Jabalia refugee camp in northern Gaza. This 5-year-old boy was murdered by the Israeli Defense Forces at Jabalia refugee camp in northern Gaza. Iyad Abdel Aziz Asker. Iyad Abdel Aziz Asker. Iyad Abdel Aziz Asker. Dr. Midat Saidam, a plastic surgeon, was killed with 30 members of his family at about 1 o'clock in the morning on October 14th. After finishing work at the Shifa hospital, he and his sister joined relatives at a house where the extended family was sheltering. Dr. Midat Saidam. Midat?
Saidam.
Midat?
Saidam. Saidam. A lot of people.
I got 3 more names. There's so many.
So many.
And they all had stories, and they all had lives. Salam Mema, a freelance journalist, was recovered from the rubble 3 days after her home in Jabalia camp in northern Gaza was hit on October 10th. Mema was the head of the Female Photojournalists Committee of the Palestinian Assembly, an organization committed to advancing media work for Palestinian journalists. Salam Mema, say her name! Salam Mema!
Salam Mema.
Another 5-year-old.
Oh my God, isn't it?
Luna Hossam Abu Nada. This 5-year-old girl was killed at the Al-Shati refugee camp in Gaza. Luna Hassam Abu Nada. Say her name! Luna Hassam Abu Nada. Luna
Hassam Abu Nada. Luna Hassam
Abu
Abu Nada.
And then we have
We have a
the
lot.
Shamalaka family. 10 members of the family. 10 members of the Shamalaka family were killed when their home in Sheikh Ejin in southwest Gaza was hit on October 8th. An airstrike hit my uncle's house, he said, with his whole family inside. My uncle, his wife, his 5 sons, his daughter-in-law, and his 2 grandchildren. Wafa Shamalaka, an Arabic interpreter who works for Kingston Council, told Sky News the youngest, Omar, was just 2 months old. Say their name, Shamalaka family. Say their name.
Shamalaka family. Shamalaka family.
And then just one more.
Family.
Dr. Mohammed Dabur. Dabur was the chief pathologist at the Islamic University of Gaza and at Al-Shifa Hospital. His family and friends reported that he was killed with his son and father by a missile while fleeing Gaza City on October 13th. Dabur researched the impact of conflict and siege on cancer management. Say his name, Mohammed Dabur.
Mohammed Dabur.
Mohammed Dabur.
Mohammed Dabur.
Mohammed Dabur.
Mohammed Dabur.
And may all the martyrs live forever in all your hearts, and may they fucking haunt Ritchie Torres and all these murderous, spineless politicians for the rest of their lives. Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine.
Viva, viva Palestina!
Viva, viva Palestina.
Viva, viva Palestina!
Viva, viva Palestina.
Gracias.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
All right, folks. So that's going to officially conclude today's demonstration. Please give yourselves a round of applause.
Ritchie, he tried to say we were going to be violent. This was a peaceful protest. Say that, Ritchie. What did Ritchie Torres say about this?
So Ritchie Torres, before we even protested today, went on Twitter, because he's a Twitter keyboard warrior, and said that we were going to be violent and that we were threatening his life and that we were threatening his staff life. Did we do that today?
He's threatening Palestinian lives.
But he's the one killing Palestinian lives. So you know what we do want to say to Ritchie Torres? Fuck you, Ritchie Torres! Fuck you, Ritchie Torres!
Fuck you, Ritchie Torres.
And fuck you, Israel! Fuck you, Israel! Fuck you, Ritchie Torres! Fuck you, Ritchie Torres, puppet!
Fuck you, Ritchie Torres, puppet! Gusano!
Fuck you, Ritchie.
Cucaracha!
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 Please follow BX Anti-War on Instagram. Go to BronxAntiWar.org and sign up for the newsletter, because we're just getting started. We're just getting started. And we want y'all to come out to the next demonstration, and I want you to bring a friend, because next time we gotta be twice as big. Can we do that? So please get home safe. Don't leave alone. Leave with a friend or a partner, and we will see you at the next demonstration. Peace and love. Peace and love.